Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. So if you are new here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Let's take a look at what we're looking at today. First of all, I just want to pull up this data from CoinGlass here because you can see how Bitcoin typically performs in the second half of the year. Now, obviously, we have 4-year cycles and we are looking at this right now. We saw a massive gain in Q1 of 2023. I think a lot of us are forgetting right now the gains we've seen so far this year. We are currently only up 0.33%. Obviously, we're only 13 days into Q3. But let me know your predictions for Q3 for Bitcoin and Ethereum here. It's looking like it's going to be an interesting couple of months, and we can see the monthly version down here as well. Typically, July is a green month for Bitcoin, and my camera's just started flashing as if it's going to turn off with no battery. Give me 1 second. I will continue talking through this hassle. Let's put the stream on pause. Right, there we go. We are back in action. Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to smash a like. Taking a look at the Bitcoin monthly returns again, now you can see here, July is typically a bullish month for Bitcoin, as I was saying there. So hopefully we will see something similar this month. I am keeping a close eye on that. If we take a look at what's going on with Blockworks here, we've seen an article posted on the 6th of July saying, congrats, you've survived the longest Bitcoin bear market ever. So if you are still in the markets, hodling on for dear life throughout the roughest bear market yet, make sure to hit like and subscribe. I believe you will all be rewarded for those efforts and sticking around during the bearish period of time. It's not fun to be around in the bear market, but it's the time to build and it's the time to learn. And those that take advantage of that opportunity are, in my opinion, those that will succeed. Let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin now and see what's going on. And we have seen some nice bullish momentum within the last couple of hours. We are currently sitting at $30,553, only down 0.57% within the last 24 hours. But we have been down lower within the last 24 hours. So I would say that's a pretty nice price to be sat at right now. We will be analysing the price of Bitcoin at the end of today's stream. I've been trading this quite quickly within the last couple of days. High leverage, taking advantage of the swings in the markets. We will discuss that at the end of today's stream. Also, we have Ethereum sat at $1,882, down just 0.4%. As I said, not too bad. We are expecting some more volatility anytime soon now. We've been trading within a $2,000 range for Bitcoin for 3 weeks now, and I'm expecting to see a breakout of this range anytime soon, any day soon. But until we get there, I'm just taking advantage of the swings within the range we are currently within. So I will update you on that at the end of today's stream. We will analyze the price of Bitcoin. One thing I wanted to talk about before we get onto the rest of the cryptocurrency news is the wave of institutional money. We can see all of the big companies here, and this is the value of their assets under management. We've seen BlackRock file for a spot Bitcoin ETF. We've seen Fidelity, and we can just see here that we are on the brink, in my opinion, of a huge amount of money flowing into the cryptocurrency markets. And that is why I'm so excited. That's why I've got a big smile on my face this morning, and I hope you all do. Please do too. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest crypto news. We do these live streams every single weekday, so make sure to tune in here. Let's see what's going on now with the CPI data. We did discuss this yesterday. For those of you that were on the live stream yesterday, you would have seen the turbulence in Bitcoin's price following this news. So first of all, we got some really bullish news. So the CPI data came in at 3% inflation year on year for June to June in the US. Now that was a really positive thing. The month before it was at 4%, and it was only forecast to come down to 3.1%. So inflation declined by a full 1%, and it went even lower than expected. Now that's a really positive thing. We've seen the interest rates pause. We've not seen a hike in interest rates after the last meeting. So to see inflation continue to decline at such a fast rate is really, really positive, because maybe this means we could see some more pauses for interest rate hikes in the interest rate hikes, and that's really positive. High interest rates is something the markets do not like. So seeing inflation come down in this way was definitely really, really positive. Off the back of that, we saw gold see a nice move to the upside. We saw stocks take a nice move to the upside, and we saw Bitcoin crashing. That was not how it was supposed to go. Bitcoin was not behaving itself yesterday. We will be discussing why, but let's take a look at this article here from cryptosavingexpert.com. If you have not checked out the website yet, make sure to go over to there. We have filled out this website with so much information, all absolutely for free, to help you all learn about the industry. So let's take a look at this article here. We have gold and stocks rallying on CPI data, Bitcoin slumbers between tightening Bollinger Bands. So taking a look at this, I mean, it should have been positive news yesterday. The CPI data coming down to 3% was definitely positive. But we just did not get that for Bitcoin. We've seen gold rally, we've seen stocks rally, and we've seen Bitcoin move to the downside. Now, we will talk about why in just a second, but let's continue on to the next article here, and we'll talk about why Bitcoin has been moving to the downside. Taking a look in the chat. Hello, NJ. Thank you very much for joining today's stream. Thank you very much for that. Everybody, yes, smash the likes. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news, and make sure to go over to cryptosavingexpert.com, the best cryptocurrency website out there, teaching you about cryptocurrency absolutely for free. Let's take a look at what's going on in this article here. Now, we are talking about XRP. Let me set up the stream correctly here. Make sure everything's running smoothly. We are talking about the XRP lawsuit now. So it's kind of a different article here. So first of all, we have the SEC versus LBRY judge refuses to clarify if the token is a security. Now, this is a different lawsuit, but it spread some fear amongst those expecting a positive outcome from the XRP lawsuit. Now, XRP have had a lawsuit with the SEC. Ripple have had a lawsuit with the SEC since December 2020, I believe it was. And there's a lot of anticipation right now. A lot of people getting excited, thinking this lawsuit's going to come to an end. XRP is going to be told, we're going to be told it's a commodity, and we're all going to be really, really bullish, and XRP is going to go to the moon. Now, I do see the understanding behind that, but there is some fears now coming out that we may not get some clarity out of this lawsuit. We might not get the answer that everybody's anticipating. So we can see here, Ripple supporters are uncertain if any clarity will come of the SEC case against XRP. So we'll see how. First of all, let's go to cryptosavingexpert.com. Let's go to XRP and see how it's reacted to this news here. So let's go to the XRP chart and take a look here. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit closer. So on the 1 hour chart here, I've zoomed in far too much on my screen. On the 1 hour chart here, you can see we've seen a bit of a decline in XRP, but really not that much there. We are still seeing bullish movements. Pretty nice. I mean, I don't hold any XRP right now. I'm starting to get a little bit of FOMO, thinking that I should probably accumulate some right now. I did hold some back in the day, back down here, and I was one of those that got burnt when the lawsuit first began. So that kind of pushed me away from XRP, but maybe it's time to jump back in now. It's one of those that's a long-term hold. We don't know when this lawsuit is going to end. We don't know if this lawsuit is going to be positive for the project. And with that being in mind, I've felt like for the past couple of years, my money is better off elsewhere. There's other opportunities that can make gains faster than this can, and that's why I've not chosen to invest in it right now. I think that's a really important point to make as well. A lot of people hear about projects and they think they need to invest in every single one they see, and I just don't think that is the method to use. I look at them and I think, is this going to help me build my portfolio in the short term and in the long term? XRP, yes, potentially in the long term, but with my portfolio size at the point in which this lawsuit began, it would have been no point me hodling through this whole period of time. My money is being much better off elsewhere. Now we are starting to see talks about this lawsuit coming to an end and the potential for XRP to see a nice move to the upside. Maybe it's time for me to take another look at this. So I will be doing that today. But let's continue on with the cryptocurrency news to see what else is going on here. So moving on to Coinbase stock. Now, Coinbase stocks have been rallying massively within the last couple of weeks off the back of Coinbase being listed as the surveilling partner of BlackRock and other institutions that have filed for spot Bitcoin ETFs. So essentially what's going to happen here is Coinbase is going to partner with the spot Bitcoin ETFs and be the provider of the Bitcoin price. They will tell the ETF holders what the price of Bitcoin is and make sure that they have that up-to-date data. So that has caused a nice move to the upside for Coinbase stock. This has followed Coinbase getting sued by the SEC. So that didn't really last very long. There was a lot of FUD around that at the time. Lasted a couple of days. Everyone got over that pretty quickly. The SEC can create arguments with whoever they want to create arguments with, but the cryptocurrency community just does not seem fazed by that anymore. It was very short-lived FUD, I'd say. So what we are seeing here now is Coinbase having a nice rally to the upside off the back of this news that they are a surveillance partner for multiple spot Bitcoin ETFs. A lot of people are feeling bullish on this news, but Cathie Woods, the ARK Invest CEO, has actually sold $12 million worth of Coinbase shares as coin has rallied to a one-year high. Now, obviously, she could just be taking profits. It's at a one-year high. It would be a pretty good time to take profits, in my opinion. We have heard her say very bullish things within the last couple of weeks. So I do believe that she is just taking profits on this. We have heard her say that these lawsuits against both Binance and Coinbase are actually a really positive thing for Coinbase because the Binance lawsuit is so much more in depth and it could actually remove some of that competition in the US. And that is exactly what we've seen, really. The Binance US is really, really struggling at the moment. It can't even keep the prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum accurate because of the amount of selling pressure on the markets. There's an arbitrage opportunity there because of the amount of the fluctuations between the actual market price of Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin on Binance US. And we're seeing a lot of US cryptocurrency users moving off the Binance US exchange. And maybe they are moving to Coinbase. Maybe Coinbase is seeing that nice rise in users there off the back of this. So maybe Cathie Woods was right in that sense. But she is now selling her stock. Now, I think that is just a taking profits opportunity. Nobody can blame her for that. It's at a one-year high. There's a lot of excitement going on right now about the spot Bitcoin ETFs. And maybe this is the opportunity to be taking profits there. But we'll have to see how this plays out. I think she is still a massive holder of the shares. So it's not like she's completely left being a holder of the company. But let's continue on with the next article here and see what else is going on. Please don't forget, if you have not already, to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, and make sure to tune in every single weekday we do these live streams. We have not missed a day in about 8 months now. So please make sure to show some support, like and subscribe, and comment on today's video. Help us in the algorithm, help us get to 100,000 subscribers. That is the goal because we want one of those nice big silver plaques that YouTube send out. So that's the goal there. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Let's see how many likes we've got on today's stream. We've got 13 likes so far. Let's try and get to 25 before the end of today's stream. Let's see what else is going on here. So the Department of Justice moves over $300 million in Bitcoin associated with Silk Road. So the US DOJ has moved 9,825 Bitcoin to new addresses. So according to a Blockworks report, a sum of Bitcoin previously associated with the Silk Road marketplace was on the move. And this is one of the luxuries we have with using transparent, decentralized networks like Bitcoin. So in March, the authorities successfully offloaded 9,800 Bitcoin directly to Coinbase at $21,800 per coin. Oof. Poor selling choice there, resulted in a significant sum of $215 million. At the time, the officials announced their intention to sell an additional 41,500 Bitcoin worth $1.27 billion, all seized from the Silk Road hacker. But what we are seeing now is the actual fear of them selling that Bitcoin has caused more dumps in the market than when they actually sold that first sum of Bitcoin. Now, they're doing this in lots. They're not just dumping $1.27 billion worth of Bitcoin into the markets. They're doing it in chunks. And when they first did it, I think it was the 14th of March, but that's off my memory, so it might not be 100% correct. We still had a bullish day on that day. We still saw a green daily candle on that day. And that's because nobody actually knew they were selling yet. And then a week later, they said, look, we've sold this, we still have plans to sell this, this, and this. And then loads of fear spread around the market. Every single time there's a transaction, fear spreads around the market. The fear of them selling this Bitcoin causes more selling pressure than them actually selling the Bitcoin, and we've seen that actually happen. So we've seen this over and over again now. The Department of Justice are actually able to dump the price of Bitcoin by just making a transaction on the network, just from the fear of them dumping this Bitcoin. It's absolutely bizarre here. We can see that Silk Road was one of the pioneering marketplaces to accept Bitcoin payments, closed operations in October 13 after the founder was apprehended by the US authorities. Now we have seen some transactions. Maybe they are going to sell some more of that Bitcoin, but what I say is bring it on. If you want to sell that Bitcoin, the Department of Justice, you just may as well do it. Instead of spreading FUD around the markets that there's going to be a huge amount of selling pressure, just get rid of it. We don't want you holding it anyway. I did hear an article a couple of weeks ago that was saying that the US government, because of this and obviously many other holdings, actually hold more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy. They hold, I think MicroStrategy hold about 75% of the amount that the US government hold at this point. So I'm on the team of them. Yes, they should sell this Bitcoin and just sell it now. Sell it now, and then we don't have to worry about this FUD coming back every other week when they make a transaction. Let's continue on with today's news and see what else is going on here. We have Celsius sues staking platform StakeHound for failing to return $150 million worth of crypto assets. So Celsius is one of those companies that did not make it through 2022, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and now they're attempting to claw back their assets from StakeHound. And this comes as the lender works towards finalizing its restructuring plan. So if you are interested in this article, I will drop this in today's chat. But let's continue with today's cryptocurrency news. We have here MicroStrategy share price could rally to $510. Now, what is the current price of MicroStrategy's stock? So it's at $408 at the time of writing this article. Now, this is an interesting piece of analysis here, because I would say MicroStrategy do have potential to see nice moves to the upside. However, what we could see here is people typically use MicroStrategy's stock right now in order to gain exposure to the cryptocurrency space. MicroStrategy hold a huge amount of Bitcoin, and off the back of that, their stock fluctuates pretty it's pretty correlated, that's the word I'm looking for, to the price of Bitcoin. And that's really beneficial. It means people in the traditional markets can get exposure to the cryptocurrency industry without having to learn about self-custody, without having to sign up for cryptocurrency exchanges. They can just do it through their traditional methods and how they know. And that's really beneficial. It brings adoption to the space. But what we could see here is the BlackRock Spot Bitcoin ETF, the Fidelity Spot Bitcoin ETF. That could take some of that that market share from cryptocurrency related companies like MicroStrategy, like mining companies, like Coinbase and other exchange stocks. Instead of people investing in crypto-related companies, they may choose to just invest in Bitcoin spot ETF. So it could take some of that market share away from those cryptocurrency-related companies. But on the other side of that, looking at it from the other perspective, these spot Bitcoin ETFs are expected to bring a huge wave of adoption, and people may want exposure to the industry in multiple different ways, not just in one way. So we may see big movements into these stocks as well. So it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out within the next couple of months. It's really exciting to see these spot Bitcoin ETFs. If you are not excited, let's take a look back at that tweet that I showed at the start of today's stream. This is the amount of money that these companies hold, assets under management. BlackRock, $9.6 trillion. This is not a game. They are not playing around. BlackRock have filed for around over 500 ETFs in their time, and only one has been rejected. Now, spot Bitcoin ETFs, we've seen 33 applications to the SEC, and none of them have been accepted. But I do believe that it's a high probability that this one is going to be different. And when it is, it could bring a huge amount of users into the crypto space. Before we continue with today's stream, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you do not miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Let's see what is going on in this next article here. 7-Eleven launches free Slurpee NFTs for its 96th anniversary. So 7-Eleven said customers Slurpee NFTs may give some inspiration for future flavors. So if you are an NFT fan, make sure to check this out. It's an interesting one. It's a fun one. I like to see big companies in the traditional world, we should say, taking a look at NFTs. It shows that we are getting the exposure into the traditional markets. I think it's very easy for cryptocurrency to corner itself off. As I was saying in yesterday's stream, it's really important to see how we can bridge people from Web 2 to Web 3. And what we really need to build on those bridges, because that is something the cryptocurrency industry is definitely lacking in. And that causes us to just have this echo chamber of people so positive about the cryptocurrency space, but we're not very good at bringing other people in and driving that adoption. So seeing traditional companies looking at NFTs, it means that other people outside of cryptocurrency are starting to hear about the markets again, and that might get people excited and get people back into the industry. So let's take a look what else is going on here. So Phantom decides to move on from multi-chain after the $230 million hack. So Phantom is looking to cut network reliance on multi-chain, eyeing Axelar and Layer 0 as alternatives. So if you are a Phantom fan, make sure to check out this article. I will drop it again in today's live chat. Let's see what else is going on in today's news. Luna Crush raises $5 million in funding round. The web-based social media analytics company Luna Crush received $5 million in Series A funding, co-led by the syndication vehicle Draper Round Table, owned and operated by Tim Draper. So I'll drop that link in the chat today as well. But let's continue with today's news. We've got 4 more articles to go. Then we're going to take a look at the price of Bitcoin, analyze it, and see what is going on. Because Bitcoin, it's on the move upwards this morning, and it's looking pretty good. We will be analyzing that fully. So let's get on with the rest of the news here, and then we can take a look. So first of all, Matic, Chainlink, and Ave. Where are altcoins heading? Now, we've seen the regulation in the US be very, very strict towards altcoins. I mean, the SEC are not being friendly at all. We've seen multiple tokens being listed as securities in the SEC's filings against Coinbase and against Binance. And we are now thinking, what's the future of altcoins? Now, the only token that we have full clarity on right now in the US is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a commodity, and they've said that loud and clear. Ethereum, we've not even got it for Ethereum. For altcoins, it's even worse right now. There's allegations that these tokens are unregistered securities. That's caused plummets in the price of these assets over and over again. Matic was one of those tokens that was named as a security in those lawsuits, and we've seen a dump in the price there. In terms of other tokens, though, we've got some more analysis in this article. So if you want to see what this analyst thinks of Chainlink and Ave, make sure to check out the link in today's chat. Let's continue with today's news here. So USDC issuer Circle lays off staff to maintain a strong balance sheet. Now, is this something we see every single day in crypto? As I was saying in a live stream a couple of days ago now, jobs in cryptocurrency are an interesting one. So being in a cryptocurrency, working in crypto full time is one of the best decisions I ever made. I think it's a brilliant thing to do. Especially, it helped me through the bear market so much. I've done a bear market on my own before, and it was not fun. And just being part of a team through a bear market was so much better. So I definitely recommend it in that sense. But we see massive fluctuations in the employment rates of cryptocurrency, and it's evident from the news that we see. When the markets are down, these cryptocurrency companies have such a dip in demand that their services aren't used as much. So therefore, they can't continue to employ so many people. And then when the bull market hits, the demand absolutely soars in many of the leading cryptocurrency companies. And off the back of that, they need to hire as quick as possible. So we see a lot of fluctuation in the recruitment of cryptocurrency companies. And we are seeing it again here. It's the USDC issuer Circle lays off staff to maintain a strong balance sheet. We've also seen some employees leaving Binance this week. We've seen a lot of fear and FUD being spread around Binance laying off some of its staff during the bear market. But we've seen that in a lot of companies in the bear market, to be honest. And it is something that makes sense. When demand for a company is low, why still pay for your employees to all sit and wait for the bull market to arrive again? Let's continue with the next piece of news here. Let's see what else is going on. We've got 2 articles left. First one, Binance continues to dominate spot market despite regulatory pressure. So the top 20 centralized exchanges accounted for $1.67 trillion in spot traded volume for Q2 this year, showing a 36% decline from Q1's $2.6 trillion. But as I said at the start of today's stream, if we pull up that news there, you can see that in Q1 this year, we saw a 71.77% gain in Bitcoin and a 52.15% gain in Ethereum. Now for Q2, we only saw a percentage gain overall of 7.19% for Bitcoin and 6.3% gain for Ethereum. Now, obviously that's still a massive gain. If I was to say that and say, oh, it's only 7% in the stock market, you would think I was crazy. That's still a massive gain. It's still a really nice thing to see. But with that difference in returns for Bitcoin and Ethereum and the difference for volatility in the markets between Q1 and Q2, obviously we are going to see that drop off in trading volume on these exchanges. But what we have seen here is Binance dominated spot trading markets in H1, so the first half of the year. So this is signaling a relatively stable position compared to last year. The feat comes as Binance faces regulatory pressure. We've discussed that a lot today. So we can see here Binance, Coinbase and Kraken dominate 85% of spot markets, and proof of reserve assets remained stable. So really positive things there. If you want to learn a bit more about cryptocurrency exchanges, centralized exchanges, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com. We have information about every single thing you need to know about in cryptocurrency. Honestly, this site is jam-packed with information, all available to you all for free. Let's see what else is going on. We need to talk about the price of Bitcoin. Let's pull this up now. So we have Bitcoin eyes $32,000 after June's US CPI comes in lower than expected at 3%. So June's consumer price index came in at 3% lower than expected, and this is looking like we could see a nice push up to $32,000. Now, that is not what we saw. This was what was expected. We saw gold rise, we saw stocks rise, but we did not see Bitcoin rise. What we saw here, if we go onto the 1 minute chart here, we were live for the announcement yesterday, so if you did miss out, make sure to turn on channel notifications because it's always an interesting one, and we do some live streams when there's announcements coming out here. You can see this is Wednesday. I want to look for Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. UTC time. Now this is wrong, isn't it? I want to be on the Dublin time. Here we go. So if we take a look at Wednesday, 1 p.m, here it is. It was the thing I was looking at. You can see we saw a 1% gain very, very quickly for Bitcoin. And then we saw some continuous fluctuation as expected, to be honest. We always see volatility in the markets after news like this comes out. But then that volatility continued, and we started to move to the downside. So let's take a look at some levels of support and resistance and see what we're looking at right now. So we've been in this $2,000 range for Bitcoin for 3 weeks. We got into this range back on the 21st of June, and we do not look like we want to break this range. We have a level of support at 29,500 and a level of resistance at 31,500, and that $2,000 range is acting like glue for Bitcoin. Very, very frustrating, but also a brilliant opportunity here. I love to range trade opportunities like this, buy at supports and sell at resistance, and rinse and repeat. So that's what I've been doing in this market. Obviously, nothing is financial advice here on the channel. I'm just saying what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. What you can see here is we have a level of support, really a zone of resistance at around $30,750 to $30,900. I'm expecting that to continue to act as a level of resistance. It is now approaching the weekend again, which is unfortunate. Every single time Bitcoin starts to have a rocket up its bum, it just becomes the weekend, and we just see that sideways action all over again. So it's very, very frustrating to see that. What we expect over the weekends typically is just some sideways action, so I'm expecting us to stay within this range a little bit longer if we do not see a breakout today or tomorrow. What we are looking at here is I'm looking at This zone here, let me pull another level up here. I think it's deleted off my charts. Between the $30,300 level and the $30,530 level, I'm expecting this to act as a level of support now. So that has acted as a level of support and resistance throughout this period of time. I'm expecting this, as I've just said, to act as a level of resistance. If we manage to break down through this, then I'd be looking at that $29,800 level. If we manage to break out up above this, I'd be looking at that $31,250 level, and then that $31,500 level. It would be absolutely great to see, and I think that move to the downside was a really good opportunity for Bitcoin to liquidate all of those shorts. So at all of those longs, and what we see before a big move is a lot of fluctuation, because that's the liquidation, and then we see the strong moves. Bitcoin takes the path of most pain, and we say that over and over again. It's not friendly to us. Trading's not easy. 95% of traders fail, and that is because of the amount of volatility in the markets. It likes to liquidate us all. So what we see here is we also have a level of support. I just want to quickly point this one out here. An increasing level of support. Whether this will hold is a question that we need to wait and see, really. It's currently within that zone anyway, so it's currently a strong level of support, but will that hold over the weekend? If we don't see a breakout of either this level of support and this level of resistance within the next 2 days, we'll probably just go straight through that and continue sideways within this range over the weekend. So unfortunately, not some really exciting bullish news for us all. I do think Bitcoin has a shot at hitting that $31,500 level and retesting that level of resistance, but just with the weekend so soon, it needs to come quick if it's going to come this week. But we'll keep an eye on that. That is all we have for today's video, so thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I hope you have enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button. Comment on today's stream and help us grow the channel as big as possible. Share the stream with your friends. Thank you very much.